Living with sensory processing disorder can be a challenging experience both for children and their families. The daily struggles faced by those with sensory processing disorder often go unnoticed, leaving parents whose children struggle with sensory related behavior or other issues to feel feel judged and isolated. And it can be hard to go out to stores, go out to movies, haircuts, or even go to restaurants when kids get overwhelmed. My name is Dr. Eric. I am one of the chiropractors here at ADIO Chiropractic. We focus on pediatrics, prenatal, and whole family wellness in the Madison and Middleton areas. Now, in this video, we will really help explore what SPD or sensory processing disorder is and its symptoms, its causes, its triggers, and all available care options. And if you feel like you've tried everything and you're running out of hope as your child's sensory issues really spill over into chronic challenges like ADHD, anxiety, even autism, then this video is for you. And parents, who feel like SPD impacts their children and their family's ability to participate in everyday activities, again, restaurants, movies, concerts, doctor visits, haircuts, grocery stores, and even birthday parties can be an overwhelming, leaving parents just feeling isolated without answers, really. And we will talk about addressing the root cause of SPD and improving neurological function, most commonly due to an excessive sympathetic nervous system, this fight and flight response that's within the brain and within that nervous system, which in turn a suppressed or weakened parasympathetic, which is our rest and relax part of that nervous system. We will also talk about one main test, the heart rate variability, which can help us assess this imbalance and provide the care to really calm the sensory storms long term. Now, before I get into everything, please share this video with other moms, parents who need to hear this message. We are on a mission to change the trajectory that our kids are on, that our families are on. So let's talk about Overwhelm. In Logan's story, Overwhelm was definitely the case for Logan's parents. They had tried the traditional therapy and method out there to calm his sensory storm and really help him better manage his emotions, calm his behavior, and get his body to appropriately recognize the sensory cues to common everyday things like going to the bathroom and getting dressed. And just like millions of other children, Logan struggled with sensory processing issues as early as infancy. And despite what his parents were told by their pediatrician again and again, he did not grow out of it. Instead, his sensory nervous system really grew into more stress and more dysfunction and everyday struggles. Finally, his parents heard about our perfect storm work and were able to really learn what's really causing the sensory processing disorder and how they could really help calm Logan's sensory storm naturally without the use of drugs or even traditional therapies like PT and OT and speech therapy. Now, let's dive into that science behind all of this. So sensory processing disorder, or again, SPD, is a condition that affects how the brain is processing and responding to sensory information from our environment. And individuals with SPD struggle to filter and really interpret sensory input effectively. Now, symptoms of SPD include hypersensitivity to stimuli, sensory overload, and sensitivity to light and to sound and to touch. And these symptoms can lead to behavioral issues, meltdowns, and difficulties with everyday functions. Now, SPD is strongly correlated with early exposure to stressful events and physical injuries during pregnancy, labor and delivery, and early infancy and childhood. Now, these factors can disrupt that neurosensory development and really contribute to the development of sensory processing disorder within our kids. And as a pediatric chiropractor, we assess this physical stress that we call subluxation or dysautonomia and vagus nerve dysfunction head on, as they play a significant role in these sensory challenges. Subluxation really refers to this misalignment, fixation, and decreased range of motion within our neurospinal system, which can contribute to neurological interference and imbalance within that nervous system. And this is why drug-free care options for SPD include neurologically-focused chiropractic care, which aims at addressing the root cause of the neurological dysfunction. And this approach focuses on restoring balance within that autonomic nervous system, which is a key part, and that vagus nerve function. Now, one key test that we do is heart rate variability. And this can be used to measure the parasympathetic nervous system activity and monitor progress in children with SPD. HRV, along with other tests such as our neurothermal and our neurosensory EMG scan, can provide us a comprehensive assessment of neurological function within that kid. So here is a series of HRV scans, starting with the first one right here. Now, this is of a scan of a child with sensory processing or struggling with sensory processing disorder, ADHD, and anxiety. The first scan here shows the small white box here way on the left lower quadrant of this HRV plot, indicating that his parasympathetic part of his nervous system and his vagus nerve are both suppressed and shut down, allowing his sympathetic sensory overload system to really run out of control. Then as care progressed over the next 2 to 3 months, you can see that white box move towards that center line and higher up towards that green box in the green circle, indicating that his subluxation and his dysautonomia were vastly improved and his nervous system now much calmer, much more balanced and regulated. Now, neurologically focused chiropractic care through neurotonal adjustments can help to really improve subluxation and dysautonomia, leading to a decrease in sensory overload and improvement in sleep, motor planning, digestion, and behavioral and emotional regulation. Now, addressing the root causes in the nervous system of SPD can lead to better outcomes and faster results with these kids. Now, to close this video, first, please ask any questions or leave a comment below or send us a direct message. Second, please share this video with other parents, family members, Facebook groups who you know need to see this information. Third, living with sensory processing disorder can be challenging, but with the right support and care, children with SPD can thrive and can get past their challenges. And the earlier that parents and providers are able to really address the root causes and improve neurological function, the better and the faster you will see the results. Now, it's been many years since Logan, who we talked about earlier, was stuck deep in his sensory storm, and now he's going into 8th grade, really thriving in school and truly living his best life. Remember this, you are not alone in this sensory journey, and there is help available. So either you can do a couple things. You can click on the article that we'll provide in either our bio, or you can join us for this upcoming webinar where one of our mentors, Dr. Tony, is going to be diving in to the perfect storm that we are seeing within kids and really helping provide even more answers for you and for your child and for your family. So we will provide those either down below here in the caption, or click on the link in our bio for more information about the article or about that upcoming webinar, which is at the end of this month in August.